The day you died, you were both in Phoenix, Arizona, shopping.
Okay.
You stopped by to pick up food for a local homeless shelter.
Amazing.
And fake Eleanor was there.
Fake? No.
You both died in the same 10,000th of a second.
Wow.
Real Eleanor was trying to save fake Eleanor's life by pushing you out of the way of the truck.
I guess you really botched that one. And I am so
Oh, come on, don't do that. Guilt trip. No, she didn't say it as a... Sorry, forget it.
We got our wires crossed. We picked up the wrong dot.
Oh, I like my theory better than that. That's very basic, run-of-the-mill, innit? Mine was a full conspiracy, dude.
I'm still waiting on that smile, gorgeous. What in the world could you have that we would want?
All right, how about a unicorn?
Might be fun to skin it alive, eat its ruff.
Oh my god.
Break off the horn, grind it up, snort it. Okay.
Okay. This guy's a freak. This guy's not okay.
Fake Eleanor, a word.
You can just say Eleanor.
Yeah.
In the meantime, stay on your toes.
Good.
Don't let Trevor get inside your head.
Yeah, Michael's fighting a corner.
Why are you helping me?
Ask questions, mate.
Chidi made a very good argument on your behalf, but it's more than that.
Oh, bless Michael.
I truly believe that the good place is where you belong.
Yeah, that's big.
You're part of our team.
Boom. Interesting, isn't it, the precedent that sets, right? Because it implies that anyone, or at least a certain amount of people that are designated for the bad place, could be and learn to be good enough for the good place. This is the thing. He opens a can of worms if he allows her to stay, which I feel like it's where it's going. Eventually, I don't know, maybe we'll go to the bad place, and then come back. But I feel like that's where it's going. And I think as soon as that happens, the status quo breaks, because then you got to start asking the question of, one, how many people in the bad place could be in the good place, if they were actually given the guidance. And then that also asks the question of, and again, it brings into the stuff that I was talking about earlier in the season, of the people who are in the good place and have done all of these things. We see Tahani, very privileged. Not everybody grows up with the kind of family that she did, and as bad as they were, there was lots of opportunity there for her, right? She had the tutelage to be successful. She had it a little bit easier, this entry into the social circles that she was privy to, the friends that she made that she could then use, I say use, but you know what I mean, for whatever endeavor she had, whether that was charitable or whatever, do you know what I mean? And then that goes to beg the question of how many people in the good place without that guidance would be in the bad place if they didn't have that. It goes both ways, because at the end of the day, I do think some of what we govern ourselves by in society, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing at all, right? But some people maybe do want to do the bad thing, but what stops them is the punishment that we have made in society. The threat of jail, the threat of whatever else. You're an asshole to somebody and they might hit you in the face. I mean, that's not necessarily a rule, but you get what I'm saying, right? If people are enabled and they can get away with acting the way that they want to act, would they do that? That's an interesting question. And I think that's what we're sort of touching on a little bit here. How many people right now who are designated for the good place, actually, if they went to the bad place, would thrive and have a good time and be like, I can do whatever I want here. Actually, this is what I wanted to be doing, but I didn't because of this, and this. Yeah. So this is what I mean. Michael does this. It breaks that status quo, which I think it should.
Don't need your help. Don't want to sign your yearbook. Why don't you come sit with us? That's a hard pass as well.
Oh?
I don't want to get chunky highlights, make fun of nerds, steal your mom's flavored vodka.
Right, so this is very much showing us she's very much medium, in the middle. It's interesting the examples we're getting here of the nerdy kids who are stereotypically uncool, and the popular kid who is designated as cool and who you want to be like. And do you know what I mean? Those two ends of the spectrum. And we're very much being shown here that Eleanor has always been and is definitively neither of those. Something to be respected, actually, in her individuality.
It was really cool the way you told all those poses.
No!
It's actually a really interesting kind of conversation that I think stems from the scene we just had, in that how many people would be different if they were more individualistic. Because that's the thing. You look at life, you look at society, you look at school, you look at adult life, where we break ourselves into different categories of who we are, who they are, who that person is. So often when people go, oh, well, I know who they are, they're always that. And it's so hard to kind of almost break out of that, right? It's why so many kids enjoy that feeling of freedom when they go to like university or whatever it might be, because, you you perhaps live in a small town, everyone knows who you are, everyone is like, right, you are that person, right? And then you go to university, no one knows you, and you can reinvent yourself. You can kind of be who you want to be. And I know that was a school environment, right, where it is, as I suppose a younger person, you are more susceptible to join a group or fit in somewhere, because that's kind of what it teaches you, right? To survive in that environment, you kind of got to do that in some ways. You don't have to, but I think it's harder, right? And you're kind of putting up walls to making friends with that group or that group, people from those groups, right? I think as you leave school, sort of the same. It's interesting, isn't it? I suppose it's the question that I find interesting about that whole thing is that if we weren't so strict with kind of categorizing people, how much better would we be as a society with people who maybe thought more so for themselves, were more individualistic? Because I think, and by the way, that's not me saying that would be better. I don't know, because that's not really the society we have. I think you do have individuals who are very much like that in society, but I think generally we do kind of categorize ourselves a lot. Sorry, not really a point to this, and honestly, like, this is a subject you can talk about for ages, but I do find it interesting, and I think, you know, that is kind of, at least at the moment, the theme we're dealing with, especially in the good place and the bad place and that dynamic. And it's like some people don't fit in to those categories.
What do you get somebody who wants to eat a unicorn? A unicorn bib. Yes, no. They even have their own Bad Janet.
Really?
Bad Janet?
What?
Wow.
Bad Janet.
Is that the same actor?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Amazing.
I never have to deal with negative emotion of any sort.
That's the dream.
Surely this magnificent house will placate them.
They will ruin this house, dude.
I kind of wish it had a clown nook. Oh!
Oh god, wait, so she's supposed to be Chidi's soulmate. It's interesting, isn't it, as well, considering what we've seen of him and Tahani. And that's interesting that seed's been planted, because now it's like, if he chooses Tahani over her, the good place wasn't right. And it calls into question this soulmate thing that they've got going too.
Ledge, though. It's like...
Oh my god.
Every day was basically one endless baby shower for a woman I didn't know. I had to organize it.
Oh my god.
And then at night, it was pretty classic torture. Flying.
He's so serious.
I hate jazz. Every jazz song is like 40 minutes long. Wrap it up, Elton John.
That is why you drink while you're listening, mate. I don't know why I'm fighting this corner. I'm kind of indifferent to jazz. Sorry, apparently I just like picking fights.
Let's get some dinner.
Yeah, we'll all go. Yeah.
Don't bring him. No.
Perfect double date. 2 losers, a trash bag, and a demon.
Yikes.
Supply them with delicious food and drink.
So who are these guys? Because I did, when they all got off the train, I was like, hang on, has he brought some, like, people from the bad place? You know, just, I don't know, as hangers on? But are they eternal ones too? Like, what's their deal?
Give me some jalapeno poppers.
Oh my god, Jianyu would love the bad place.
Go get me a drink.
Yes, of course.
No, Michael, stand up for yourself, Dani.
Oh, and I think your grilled eggplant looks so good.
Right.
Splitsies?
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice.
It's easy when you're just born perfect. My parents were both dirtbags who split up when I was 8.
Really?
That trauma, it can explain away a lot of behavior.
The show poking fun at me a little bit.
Actually, I'm not sure. I never met my birth parents.
And hey, look, a good point to bring this up, because, like, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's nature versus nurture, right? I personally believe that nurture is a bigger part of who you are, who you become. I do think so. I think nurture is stronger than nature, truthfully, as an influencer to a person. I just think that there are so many facets to how you are nurtured. Nature is very single. It's there, it's you, that's who you are, right? Fundamentally. But I do feel like nurture, there are so many different pathways, so many different almost needles that hit you from that perspective. And I just feel like it's more affecting. My opinion, not right or wrong, but just my opinion personally. But with that said, it is worth saying that, for example, people put into the same situation are not always going to act the same, because I do think that fundamentally people are different. I do feel like there are differentiations between the natures of people. I also believe that. But I think that's the thing, it's nuanced, right? It's not as easy. You know, people are like, well, which do you think it is, nature or nurture? And I'm like, both. It's both. In my opinion, I just think that nurture is more influential. But I think what we're going to see here is that, you know, she didn't maybe have the best childhood, or she had struggles of her own and she reacted differently to them, which I think is absolutely valid.
I was found and adopted, but then they died when I was 4.
Right.
Anyway, orphanage burned down.
Yikes.
Made my way to America, yada, yada, yada.
This is the thing. Eleanor's going to hear this and be like, oh, I am a bad person. I could have just done what she did. And it's like, sure, But not every single individual person's experience of something is the same. I think despite similarities perhaps that you could find in both of their upbringings, they're not the same. And I think just because someone dealt better with adverse times and adverse circumstances does not invalidate that someone else with adverse circumstances struggled with that, right? I think that struggle is still valid and that person should still be looked on gently and with empathy.
Learned English from watching Seinfeld, put myself through law school.
Wow.
Sorry, what is it you said happened to you? Same thing that happens to half of all kids in America?
Which, to be fair, he's using that as an example of like, well, everyone had the same. Sorry, if everyone had the same shitness growing up, maybe that's more of a comment on the place that you grew up in.
Same thing that happens to half of all kids in America?
Like, that is not a boast for America, dude.
Can I ask you a question? What are jalapeno poppers?
Yes, this is the guy to ask, dude.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
I ate 50 of them in 2 minutes. Everyone at the hospital was so impressed.
Why did you do that?
You're the only person here that's nice to me.
Oh.
How do you guys eat without listening to hardcore porn?
What? Who?
What about throwing a rager and totally trashing this place?
Such a good idea.
Let's party!
Chidi tells me that he's teaching you about ethics. Actually, we've had some
Big him up.
Socrates
Yeah,
manual
cool. Shut up.
Kant.
Let's cut to the chase here. You two go to Pound Town.
My goodness.
You two bang it out?
Man, like, sorry, this guy's so uninteresting. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were actually having a conversation. And it's like, talk about it. You know, get to know each other. That's what you're here for. That's what dinner is supposed to be for. And this guy coming in and interrupting, I get it. That's his whole shtick, right? But, like, it's so uninteresting. It's like, come on. Do you not want to have, like, one interesting conversation, dude? Do you not want to make any... Well, of course he doesn't. But people like this exist, okay? It's so uninteresting. Stop it.
Our relationship was teacher-student, nothing more.
Chidi, you don't...
Oh, no, Eleanor, come on. He framed it as like you were sleeping together, so obviously he was gonna like bring it back, okay? It doesn't mean you weren't friends.
Whatever happened before I arrived is none of my business.
Bless her. Good on her.
You ready, Eleanor? I've seen it all already. You guys go ahead.
Oh,
You'd rather be alone with him?
right.
Oh, watch your heads, ladies.
My God.
My dudes tend to boomerang around the room.
Hey, a bunch of us are gonna go see Spider-Man 2 tonight. Do you wanna come?
They made a second Spider-Man?
Eleanor, it's the best one.
You can just pay me back in cash.
So you can get all the points on your credit card.
Do you wanna buy them?
So you guys can never pay me back and I'll be out like $80?
Oh my God.
I'll buy my own ticket.
But you're gonna be sat on your own, right? My guy.
Bought it with points, baby.
Well, do you know what? As long as she's happy, that's all that matters.
We're snorting time.
What?
Yo, monk dude, you know how to tap a keg?
Oh, he is gonna have such a good time. It's gonna come out to Tahani and Michael that he is,
Hey, idiot! Dance.
You got it.
Oh, Michael.
Why haven't you forkers invented a medium place?
I wonder. Now that I'm seeing, I mentioned a little while ago, Michael and this guy are so different. Trevor are so different, right? The Eternal ones are so different. And actually, I did. I suggested perhaps they make places that suit them and their personalities. Does that mean they're a kind of no medium Eternal? Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's why. I do feel like there's a reason.
I'm just upset that you let them walk all over you.
Yeah, stand up for yourself, dude.
They're the only thing in the universe that scares me.
Oh,
I just have to be more accommodating.
no.
Everything they want given to all of their demands, and then they'll have to respect me.
No, you're worth more than that.
No, you need to stand
Yes.
up for yourself.
This is why we love Tahani.
And the time has come to hit unfriend.
Yes.
Also told Mark to lose the. You know, just Facebook.
You were Justin Timberlake?
The Bad Place crew requested that the hangover filter be turned off.
That's insane.
They like them.
What?
Just because we have a new guest in the house doesn't mean I'm not still gonna be there for you.
Beautiful. We love it.
I'm in this. We're a team.
Chidi, stepping up. I love that. Strong. Good on him.
We want to bring you aboard permanently.
No, I'm good. I just don't think I'm really one of you guys.
Interesting, yeah. This is the thing as well. She's never really fit in anywhere. Maybe that was the problem. I mean, I don't know what the answer to that is, but I mean, we're seeing in The Good Place, she's making genuine friends, I think, with Chidi. And as well, remember, was it episode 1? There was a stress on this was a continuation. It's the next place. It's the next step. It wasn't you died and it's over. It was like you died and now you're here. It makes absolute sense that it should be a continuation continuation. It was implied, it was said that that was kind of what's happening. And the fact that she now, you know, she didn't find perhaps what she wanted in life, but she is finding more of who she is, where maybe she wants to go with who she is. And I think finding a friend, a genuine friend in Chidi, is more progress that at least I've been seeing in the flashbacks to when she was alive, right?
And you all hang out like some kind of cult.
We hang out after work because we're friends.
It's weird.
This is how you really feel. I think I have to fire you.
What? This is such an interesting commentary on the focus we put on categorizing people. Eleanor was doing a good job, doing her work well, and yet because she didn't want to take that past a work relationship, she was excluded. I think this is a larger commentary almost on how we don't allow people, or at least make it very hard to have a place in society that is truly individual. I think this behavior towards Eleanor is problematic. If she wants to clock in every day and then leave it at that, then she should be allowed to. Sure, we can get into the underlying issues that make Eleanor this way, but that's not the point. It sends this message of if you don't engage in society in the way you're supposed to, then you're excluded, which isn't how it should be. This isn't true freedom.
Peace! You need me to lie to old people, and you guys don't have any lame mandatory office hangouts, right?
The last scene entirely recontextualizes this scene here. Through no fault of her own, Eleanor lost her old job, and she's not taking this one because it reflects the work she wants to be doing. She just wants the peace that we all want in life, to live our lives the way we truly want to. Eleanor hasn't been allowed to do that, and so she has to resort to places like this that just don't care. The culprit for this reflection of badness isn't a commentary on where Eleanor's morals are, like we were led to believe, but circumstances that derive from the unfair way that society has worked against her. Whether this is healthy for her is another conversation, but this shows us that Eleanor's actions and decisions weren't motivated by inner moral good or bad, but the circumstances surrounding her life, which are entirely out of her control. This demonstrates the failing of the good place. These circumstances of the human world and their influence on individual humans is not taken into account when deciding who should go where, and you must consider this.
Hell no.
Happy to be a part of the not team.
She just likes her own space. My brain also asked the question why she liked that. You know, what happened?
We hooked up.
No, we didn't.
Who are they gonna believe, me or a woman?
Oh my god. Sadly, he's got a point.
Let's go, ding dong. Come on.
Come on.
No, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, okay.
You don't belong here.
I don't, but I want to.
And that matters. And that matters. It does. I'm very surprised, by the way. I was going to say, surprised she's getting a say in the matter. It makes me think that these guys, Trevor and Michael, don't have as much power as I was led to believe.
I used to never want to be a part of any group.
Right?
But I'm a different person now.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Because of the person who helped me. And I want to be like him.
Nice.
I want to be like all the people who are here.
And that matters.
You can, Eleanor.
Yes.
If you don't come with us, we're gonna have to turn this matter over to Sean.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
Who's Sean? He's the wise, eternal judge who sits on high. He has the final say on all disputes between our two realms.
Right.
Here's my offer.
I kind of want to meet Sean.
You get nothing.
Yes, Michael. Stand up for yourself. We love it.
Get her, Michael.
Yeah.
You can summon every evil creature you have, every weapon in...
No. Okay, stop.
Every four-headed flying bear.
Can we just stop?
I believe that Eleanor belongs in the good place.
No.
Get the fork out of my neighborhood.
Yes, Michael. Say it again. Ah.
Hello, Gianni.
Okay.
You got sloppy. Junk food all over the house. You knew how to tap a keg.
Yeah, she did see. Interesting. This is good.
So let's chat.
Perfect. Good. I mean, what we're on? Episode 9 of, God, there's 13 episodes. I don't know why that's always a surprise. Yeah, all of the questions kind of almost getting answered. We're getting the good place, we're getting the bad place, you know, we're finding out big stuff. Tahani finds out about Jason now as well. Dude, I like it. Perfect. Super impressive, the kind of the pacing of the season and the pacing of the story. All of the things that are kind of mysteries of like, well, that's going to come out eventually. I don't know when it's going to be. Always earlier than I kind of expect it to be, which is a good thing. You know, I like that. It means that they had plans to tell this story in a certain way and to not use that kind of tension and the waiting and the cliffhangers and drawing that out and risking making that not really mean as much when you actually do have the people find out, etc, etc, etc. And it means, you know, as soon as you do that, you start to deal with it, and it's like, that's what people want to see. It keeps the audience hooked, it keeps the audience watching, and it means that people come away being like, oh, watch that show, all of the good bits are in it. They just tell the good bits. Anyway, that was episode 9. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, tick the notification button as well. You'll be notified every single time I make any video ever. A little bit overwhelming, that's fair. Thank you so much for those who support me. I do have a Patreon and YouTube memberships as well, link in the description below if you fancy having a quick look at that. Other than that, I will see you very, very soon for some more Good Place. Until then, see you later.